Hello, everybody. This is Gail Downey from Beckwith Middle School, and I am here to help you learn some tips and tricks about using Google Classroom beyond the basics. This does assume that you know some of the Google Classroom essential skills, such as setting up a classroom, using the stream for announcements, etc., using classwork to set up topics and assignments, using the Grades tab for grading assignments, and things like that. So anyway, for the beginning of our presentation, we want to talk about tips for navigating the Google Classroom, because there are a few shortcuts that you should be aware of. So on our Google Classroom dashboard homepage, you'll see that there are many little icons all around. So the first thing I want to mention is that for each individual class, you will see a folder. And if you hover over it, it actually tells you that it takes you to the Google Drive folder for that specific Google class you set up. If you click on the crooked arrow, that will take you directly to the grade book for that specific Google class. And then up here, which I love these features, you have a to-do list, and students have the to-do list as well for their purposes on what's coming up. And this is where, if I were to click on this, I would have seen upcoming assignments and due dates. Of course, it's the summertime, so there's not a lot here, but it shows you for this week, next week, and later. And students have that so they can keep track. So therefore, it's very important for you to use appropriate due dates for any assignment that you post. To review is something only teachers would see. So if I go to review, it's going to show me all the things that I need to review, the work I need to review for students and grade, of course. And I can see that for all of my classes. Or if I click on the down arrow, I can choose one specific class to look at. And I can scroll down and see all the different things. And again, this is only going to be assignments. See, my question assignments are down here. And then my other things are up here. The next thing I want to talk about is some important icons that you should be aware of. The first one is what some people call the hamburger icon, but it's actually 3 horizontal lines, and that signals a drop-down menu. So if I'm on my main dashboard page, and I click on the main menu, horizontal lines, I'll see classes, calendar, to review, a list of all my classes. If I keep scrolling down, I can see things I'm enrolled in, which I'm enrolled in another person's class. And to-do list, archive classes, and settings. And this is general settings for the entire Google Classroom app. So if you click on that, you'll see these are the default settings since I have not changed them. How to receive your notifications, comments that mention you, classes you're enrolled in, classes you teach, class notifications, etc. I have not changed any of those. They're all on. I find that that's probably the easiest thing to do. And then for the next icon, 3 vertical dots, you'll see that particular icon for your specific classes or for specific topics and assignments. So if I click on this at the class level, I can move that class somewhere else on the page or drag and drop. I can copy an invite link if I want to send that to a parent or something. I can edit the class, copy the class, which of course is if you want to if you had a master class that you are reusing, you can copy it to use it with another group of students and make changes. Or archive your class, which I don't recommend archiving classes until the school year is actually over, well over. Then if I go into an assignment, and I want to look at that particular, so I have the 3 dots here. So this is a topic, so I can click on those dots and I can rename the topic. I can delete it, copy the link, move it down, so on. And if I have an assignment, I can click on the 3 dots and I can make changes to that assignment. move it up or down. But you can drag, for moving up and down, you can drag and drop as well, which is not always the cleanest way, but it is workable. The third icon I want to discuss is the gear icon, and that's a common icon you see in all Google apps, and that is basically for the settings. In this particular case, because I'm in a specific Google Classroom I've set up, this gear icon is only for that particular class. Really important to keep that in mind. So for this particular class, I go to the class details. I have invite codes, managing those codes, the invite link, the class code, display. I can display the class code if I have the students in front of me to join. Students can post and comment. That's an important one. That's the default setting, which I don't care for. I prefer to change it to only teachers can post and comment, at least at the beginning of the year, until you define the rules for students to be doing that, using that tool. Condensed notifications, guardian summaries. That's so that parents can actually see a weekly summary of what's going on in their student's classroom. Google Meet, you'll notice, is not automatically turned on, thank goodness, but you can generate a Google Meet link here, and you can always change that every time you use it. And if you want to be visible by students, you can flip that switch over as well. So I'm glad that it's not automatically on, because I don't know that you will be using that right now. And then grading, the overall calculation, this is a default total points. So that's good to know as well. The next thing I'd like to talk about are some tips for setting up your classes. So one of the things I learned the hard way this past spring was that I probably was not setting up my classes as organized as I thought. So what might be a good idea to do is to consider creating a topic specifically for daily, weekly agendas. And I know our 8th grade teachers here at Beckwith figured that out along the way, and they created agenda templates, I believe, each week, where they made a Google Doc and they put a table in there and color coded it. And then they had a topic called weekly or daily agendas. And then they put those documents in there to help keep kids on track. So don't forget, you can also move topics up and down on the classwork page. So that way you can organize them how you want. And you may want to organize your topics by week and put all of the documents related to that topic or that week under that topic name. Or you may want to organize by unit of study. So that's an important thing to keep in mind as well. Next are some assignment tips. So assignments, again, you want to organize them in materials logically. So you could number your assignments and materials, as you can see I did here, where I have assignments. That's the assignment icon. This is a materials icon because that was a video, but I'm not going to do that this year. Or you can include the assignment date in the name. So if I look at that actual class, which was 5th grade, classwork, and if I scroll down here, you can see that I numbered the assignments. So that way it helped keep students on track. I didn't do that initially, but I did it as we moved along in things because I was finding that students were very confused about what they were supposed to do and when, even though I had due dates here. So that was good to know as well. The next thing to talk about are comments in the classroom. There are 2 different types of comments. There are class comments on assignments that are public, meaning they're public to all students in the classroom as well as teachers and co-teachers. And you can see that when it looks like this. There's a little icon at the top and class comments at the bottom. So if I go into my 5th grade class and I go to classwork and I go down, you can see that I've got class comments on a few different things. But for this one, since that's the one in my example, if I click on that class comments, it opens up the actual assignment and I can scroll down and go to the class comments and I can see comments here. And sometimes these are general comments about an assignment. maybe a video won't open, or some general comment or question that maybe you can encourage students to help each other out with that. And if you can see the comment here that's visible by all students, and then a student can post a response here. So that way they could help each other out, or you could help them, whichever the case may be. So a private comment would be a situation where an individual student posts a comment on their specific assignment, or you as the teacher or co-teacher post an individual comment on a student's assignment. So this could be a question about the assignment. This could be feedback you want to provide to the student, but it can only be seen by that specific student and any teacher or co-teacher in the classroom. So for tips on grading, I think most of you have your own way of grading already. I use total points just because I find it easier, but your point assignments can be anywhere from 1 point to 100 points or what have you. I think you can even put in more points than that. But when you go to your grade book, or go to an assignment, I should say, you can open the assignment and you can sort by last name, first name, and status. The default, I believe, is sorting by first name. So I always automatically change it to sort by last name. Sorting by status means you're sorting by turned in, not done, missing, that type of thing. So that's a good way to sort your assignments. And you can put, when you can grade by assignment, by individual assignments. So that way you can put in comments and you can put in the numbers, the points that they should get. Or you can go to the gradebook view. So you can go to your grades tab and you can actually see this looks a lot more like a traditional digital gradebook that we would see in Aspen X2, where we see all the students in the first column, we see class averages overall, and then for each assignment would be up here. And then you can click on those 3 dots. You can return all the assignments at once, assuming you've put in all the grades for appropriately as for the students. So it's a great way to go through it quickly versus going through individual assignments.